Darling, would you like some tea? I've made your favorite.
Well, thank you, darling. I'm here finishing my blog post to help homeowners understand their electricity bills. The left side of your bill shows the rates for electricity and the government charges. The middle portion shows the number of units you've consumed, plus the history of your usage over the last 8 months. And the right side shows how much you're being charged.
I really think people are going to value this information.
Grenlec, energizing our...
M&M Hardware Limited, Hope St. Andrew and Dusty Highway, St. George. Shop conveniently for all your building materials including plumbing, electrical, lumber, cement, steel and much more. We manufacture roofing sheets available in 11 colors, aluminum windows, doors, inset screens and hurricane shutters. Installation services are available for all our manufactured products. Our opening hours are Monday to Friday 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., Saturdays 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. M&M Hardware Limited. Come on in and experience our affordable prices or call us 444-6757 or 440-6757 Dusty Highway. Email us at info@mahonhardware.com or mnmdusty@mahonhardware.com. M&M Hardware, foundation to roof. Let's build together.
Where you walk, what you say, when you talk, where you go, where you walk, what you say, when you talk.
It's a hungry world out there, with everybody scrambling to get a share. Wolves in sheep clothing, birds of prey waiting to swoop down on you, and there's no telling what they'll do. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. Where you go when you're walking, what you say when you're talking. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful, careful.
Yeah. But now what they're doing? Okay. You can't see what they're doing, man. Can't share. I don't know how to share my screen. I have to find out how to do that. When I find out how to do that, I'm looking at some sneakers here, man. Ooh, that one hot. I like the color. Color is wine. Yeah, kind of like, yeah, wine. Wicked. Yeah. Why are you looking at it for? So I can't look at shoes? This one's not bad too. Is it? Yeah. Let's see. What else? This white one here looks hot. Top of the line. Top of the line. Shucks. That's hot. Yeah. Nah, that red, are you crazy? You must be mad. I forget I had to work, eh? That's all. Kenneth Joseph, good morning. Chrissy Batista, Mika Moses. I just forget I'm at work and I'm just looking at these things here. Let me concentrate and do the people's work, eh? So, how's your weekend? What happened? What didn't happen? What do you think should have happened that did not happen? Did any politician pass by you? Which one? Okay, that's the first time I see them? Oh, you didn't know it? Okay. Don't worry, man. Everything will be okay. You know the season open. The season open. So you would be seeing a lot of the politicians. But of course, you know what it's Calypso. Yeah, you don't let nobody trick you and go and play a soca for you and it's Sky. So, yeah. Nobody trick you on that and say, no, that is a groovy and that thing fast as what? Fast as lightning.
You know about music. All right?
So, we've got the weather. Yeah, that's going to come up in a couple of ticks. Stay with us.
It's a hungry world out there, with everybody scrambling to get a share. Wolves in sheep clothing, birds of prey waiting to swoop down on you.
At the Morris Bishop International Airport Meteorological Office this morning to appraise us on what the weather is going to be like for the next 24 hours, we say good morning to Cassia Johnson. Good morning, Cassia.
Good morning to you and good morning to the listeners. Here is the weather for today, Monday, 21st February 2022. Presently at the airport, conditions are fair and hazy. Winds are from the east-northeast at 10 miles per hour. Pressure 1014.4 millibars, which is above normal and rising. Present temperature 24.4 degrees Celsius. Relative humidity 83%. Yesterday's maximum temperature was 30.6 degrees Celsius. Minimum temperature last night 23.6 degrees Celsius. Over the past 24 hours, there was only a trace of rainfall at the airports. Hence, the total for the month remains at 10.0 millimeters. Looking at the public forecast valid for today and tonight, the weather is expected to be generally fair and hazy, increasing in cloudiness after midnight with a light to moderate showers. Today's maximum temperature 31.0 degrees Celsius. Winds northeasterly to easterly at 14 to 24 miles per hour. Seas moderate, waves 4 to 7 feet in open waters. A small craft advisory remains in effect. Tides are currently rising and will be high at 9:30 a.m., low at 3:30 p.m. Sunset today 6:16, sunrise tomorrow 6:27. Again, the weather is expected to be generally fair and hazy, increasing in cloudiness after midnight with a light to moderate showers. A small craft advisory remains in effect. From the Met Office, I am Cassia Johnson.
Thank you very much, my day. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, same to you.
Okay, great. Bye-bye. It's real. It's 91.9 FM. The day is yours. Live it. Just remember, the day is yours. He gave it to you. Live it. Don't sit in no corner there like moaning and moaning. Oh, good, what a good deal. La, la, la. Nope. The day is yours. Live it. Errol Bonaparte, good morning to you. Live the day. You work in the Ministry of Youth. Live today. Yes. All right then. Yeah, he's on his way to work.
You got to be careful.
You live life. Don't let life live you.
Be careful.
Right? You live life. Don't let life live you.
With what you do and how you're doing it.
Oh, by the way, did you catch On the Ends of the Weekend on Saturday? Did you catch that one?
You got to be.
That one was a better one than the one before, right? I tell you what, coming up this weekend, On the Ends will be inside of Monterey, I believe. And it promises to be off the charts. Wet. Fire. Blazing. We gotta do what we gotta do. This is a beautiful land. We gotta live. Coming up at 7:30 this morning, we should be linking with the folks from the National Water and Sewage Authority for that program, Water Wise. So listen up for that. And hey, let me tell you this now. Yeah, man, I kind of forget to tell you. Remember we were supposed to have that ganja conversation continuing every other week and we missed last week? No, it wasn't my problem. It was somebody else's issue. So this week most definitely, today as a matter of fact, we will be speaking to Saisha and another guest. I don't remember who the guest is, but it's another person who is involved in the whole aspect of marijuana. And as we seek to educate ourselves more, because we know that government, right? Government has a paper that they're rolling out. They've already had the first reading in Parliament and stuff like that. So they're rolling this out. So in order to pass a bill, which should seek, I believe, to the decriminalization of marijuana. Now, what step is that? That is more than likely the first step. One of these days, I really would like to have, and I may have, if I get him for a half an hour or 15 minutes this Thursday. I'll try to have Minister Peter David. You never know. He's a man who could make it. When he could make it, he makes it. So let's look at working towards having Honorable Peter David on Thursday morning program. Now, we have to be very understanding and very careful because people are calling for legalization. And in my readings and in my research, Jamaica has not even legalized marijuana as yet, have they? No? Have they? No? We could talk about that, man, because we have ganja conversation coming up. We talk about all them kind of things, them kind of something they so. Water-wise, that's coming. Stay with us, Grenada.
The Nawasa app brings the power of Nawasa's customer service experience to you. Instant, conversational, and smart. Easy access anywhere. Get bill balance, transaction history for up to 6 months, report a fault, link to websites, view payment centers, contact information, push notifications, and multi-tenant accounts, all in a secure login platform. Like a self-service concierge app, mobile.nawasa.gd gets you the support you need much faster. Available on both Android and iOS platforms. mobile.nawasa.gd, your customer support companion. Nawasa, committed to meeting customers' needs.
Good morning, listeners, and welcome to another edition of Waterwise, a production of the National Water and Sewerage Authority, Nawasa. I am Wendy Chateau. On our last program, we began sharing with you comments from Board Director Mr. Dexter Legard from the official sod turning ceremony for the Carriacou Water Supply Expansion Project. We continue sharing those comments with you this morning.
This is all possible by the hard work and commitment of the government of Grenada, who obtained grant funding from the government of Italy through a partnership with the Caribbean Community Climate Change Center, or 5Cs, to the tune of US $288,816.68. We look forward to the second phase of this project, which will expand to the north and eastern side of the island. I am pleased that not only is this investment being spent to improve the supply of water here in Carriacou, but that the contractors responsible for this performance of the work are also from Carriacou. The Board of Directors wishes to specifically mention and thank Minister for Carriacou and Diplomatic Affairs, Honorable Kinja Maturin-Stewart, for the significant role she played in ensuring that this expansion project came to Carriacou and that Nawasa stayed on track. To the contractor who worked on the project to ensure that we stand here today and be proud of this accomplishment, the board says thank you. To the international community, the Italian government, and the Caribbean Climate Change Centers, I say the people of Carriacou are worthy of your continued investment. This upgrade is key to addressing that improving the supply of water to the communities that are struggling with the impact of climate change and severe water shortage. Carriacou thanks you. To the management and staff of Nawasa, seeds are often planted, but they must be nurtured to grow and grow to be healthy and strong. This robust project is here and is successful because of your planning and execution. To each employee who played a part, from decisions making to design to laying of pipes, those who saw the vision and executed it, the board continues and commend you and says thank you.
Board Director Mr. Dexter Legard, we also remind you this morning that you can now make payments to your accounts using your credit or debit cards. Nawasa has implemented the alternative payment method to facilitate ease of transactions at all 4 cash offices at Lucas Street, the Carenage, Grenville, and Guelph. That's our program this morning. Until next time, I am Wendy Chateau on behalf of the entire team at Nawasa, thanking you for joining us. Do have a pleasant day.
The Nawasa app brings the power of Nawasa's customer service experience to you. Instant, conversational, and smart. Easy access anywhere. Get bill balance, transaction history for up to 6 months, report a fault, link to websites, view payment centers, contact information, push notifications, and multi-tenant accounts, all in a secure login platform. Like a self-service concierge app, mobile.nawasa.gd gets you the support you need much faster. Available on both Android and iOS platforms. mobile.nawasa.gd, nawasa.gd, your customer support companion. Nawasa, committed to meeting customers' needs.
Who wants to save 30%? Everybody! Now more than ever, Flow understands the need to make your dollar stretch. Our new bundles can help you save 30% off your current bill. Plus, get a free speed upgrade on your in-home internet. Simply add your mobile to your current home services account and save 30%. It's easy. Sign up now and save. All on the most reliable fixed and mobile network on island. Visit a Flow store or call us at 1-800-804-2994 for more information. Flow, it only gets better. Terms and conditions apply.
How did you get your electricity bill to be so low?
For one, we size our transformers just for what we need, and we unplug transformers, chargers, and other devices when they're not in use. We also replaced our light bulbs with LED. I even replaced the seal on my refrigerator door to keep the cold air in.
How do you know if it is working?
We pay attention to the usage history table. Over time, our average usage has decreased.
Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
M&M Hardware Limited, Hope St. Andrew and Dusty Highway St. George. Shop conveniently for all your building materials including plumbing, electrical, lumber, cement, steel and much more. We manufacture roofing sheets available in 11 colors, aluminum windows, doors, insect screens and hurricane shutters. Installation services are available for all our manufactured products. Our opening hours are Monday to Friday 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., Saturdays 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. M&M Hardware Limited. Come on in and experience our affordable prices or call us 444-6757 or 440-6757 Dusty Highway. Email us at info@mahonhardware.com or mnmdusty@mahonhardware.com. M&M Hardware, foundation to roof. Let's build together.
I'm a winner. You are winner. We are winners.
It's the big one. Grenada. Imagine winning $25,000 and up to 6 times by scratching just one little ticket. Get your triple cash scratch tickets for a chance to live your best life. Win easy with Scratch. For just $3, match any of your numbers to any of the winning numbers and win the prize shown for that number. Reveal a money back symbol and win the prize instantly. Triple cash scratch. In stores now. Must be 18 or older to play.
Cause I'm a winner. From the moment that I get up, I'm feeling right.
Where you walk, what you say, when you talk, where you go, where you walk, what you say, when you talk.
It's a hungry world out there, with everybody scrambling to get a share.
Yeah, hungry it is, eh? You better believe that. Landon Jane, good morning. How you doing? Joanne Francis, Faithlin Halley Douglas, David Cap Chong. Jenny Francis, how's Tobago, girl? Are you in Tobago this morning? Are you in Trinidad? Harold Bonaparte, you still there? I know, bro. So today we say is the day for the Ministry of Youth, eh? Yeah. Shouting out the Ministry of Youth continuously today. Yes. Continuously today. Yeah, my program, yeah, I'm shouting out the Ministry of Youth. I think we should make it an entire radio thing, don't you think? Yeah. So for the day, we focus on the Ministry of Youth, try to see if we can get somebody from the Ministry of Youth to chat to them to find out how things going. You know, nothing, just how things going, how you doing, how the office going, everything okay, blah, 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 that kind of thing. Yeah. I think Ryden has really come up to something there. Yeah, bro. You kind of get sure now, eh? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I need some coffee. Don't you think? Yeah. Where am I going to get a coffee? I made it. Do I know how to make coffee? Duh. So, check friends. I'll be speaking now to Dr. Kevin Edmonds this morning. Yeah. He's a Grenadian. He's living in Canada. We'll be speaking about ganja. Yeah. So, listen up for him. Oh, come on. You coming on just now, man. No. Uh-uh. What? Guy, hold on. Hold on. Are you kidding me? Guy, what's going on with you on this thing, man? Okay. I will take a look at it. Nah, this guy. Yeah, most definitely. I will give you some time and we'll talk about. No, I wouldn't say who I'm talking to. I wouldn't say who's sending me messages. Lucille, Pascal, and Maria Alex. What's up, girls? You're right. Yeah, so one of these mornings we'll talk about that. Good? Right. Now here's this. And this is very important. Eh? This is very ultra important. So we started this morning impromptu though it was, as I said, it was Royden's idea that we do, an entity per day. And it is it is still his responsibility to get the information for me. Yeah. Get the information, send it for me. Yeah. You have to delegate responsibilities. Don't you know about that? Right. So Ministry of Youth, I can't forget them this morning. Youth, we dealing with you. Yeah, the Ministry of Youth. So very important. And the youth in any country is very important at all times. And don't let some people do some trick y'all young people. There are people who are going to be coming around and talking to you now. They had nothing to say to you before. For programs that you are involved in, that you are doing so and make something of yourself, and programs that are causing you to have $1 in your pocket, they've condemned. Straight up, they've condemned. And now they want your support. Now when Merchant sing this song about being careful, he was talking about what was going to happen. You understand? When Merchant sang this song,
What you say when you're talking, you gotta be careful.
When Merchant did that, he was thinking about you, the young people of this nation, and telling you have to be careful of who you're talking to and who you're listening to. You have to be careful. Don't mix that one at all. You must be careful as to what is going on around you. You are a young person. Don't anybody come and try to trick you. You understand? No. They didn't want you all along. They didn't know about you all along. They didn't care about you. They wanted nothing to do with you. They wanted nothing to do with you. And you know that. But now it's election and you can cause them to win. All of a sudden, they're talking about young people and give young people the power. But you know that you're smarter than them because you know you still need to get the experience before you pick up the reins. You don't expect to walk into a company today and be in charge of the company today. It does not work like that. And you know that. So they're trying to trick you. They're trying to trick you into believing that you are the one that they care about. But they lie. Did I say lie? They tell untruth. They tell untruth. Seriously. They don't care about you. Think about it this way. You've been waiting all your life. You've been waiting all your life for someone to give you a puppy. Yeah? So the person gives you a puppy. You take that puppy and you're going down on the beach and you throw the puppy in the water just like that. Does that make sense? Think about it for a minute. It doesn't make sense. First time the puppy see water now. Big body of water like that, you throw the puppy in water. After a lot of struggles, it will swim. However, the experience will be a harrowing experience. So that anytime that puppy see water again, it might not want to go near the water. And that is what is happening. You're taking a set of people who have not even, some of them have not even had a job in their life before. And you're telling these people that they're going to be ministers and whatever now. Now, I ain't saying that they can't be. Of course they could be. That's the future. Right there. Ask yourself this question. Young people, ask yourself this question. Glenn don't like to talk so much. He doesn't do so and shut up. He used to do so and shut up the Prime Minister and say, don't talk. Let me talk. That is Glenn Noel. Yeah? You honestly believe that Glenn Noel is going to sit down and allow himself to be led by persons with no experience politically and otherwise? People is a sham. Boy, y'all don't understand. It's a sham. That thing is not real. And that's why I tell you, young people, they don't care about you. They don't care nothing about you. They want to see you suffer. That's what they want. Nothing else but to see you suffer. Young people, you've been taught by your parents that everything takes time. You did not born and walk the next day. You didn't born and learn to crawl the next day. There is a process. Let nobody kid you into this. There is a process, and a process for everything. Everything under the sun. There is a process. When a mango tree blossoms first, you know. And if you pick that mango before it's full, you got a thing called colic. You know, by the side of your mouth, all kind of thing bust up on the side of your mouth because of the milk from the mango, you know. The mango is not ready. And let me tell you, when the mango full, it still ain't ready, you know. But here's what's happened. Some people, because they can't wait, they take it and they cut it and they make, I think, Jira and Shira and Hira. Them kind of thing there, yeah, they're making that. And curry mango and all kind of thing. But that is mango still, that ain't ready to eat yet. Do you understand? When the mango is nice and ripe, it's ready to be consumed. Some half ripe, yeah, go try it. But some mangoes, when you do so and you take them half ripe, they're bitter. I'm saying everything takes time. There's a certain level of maturity that has to be gotten before you do them kind of something there. You cannot and you should not. Young people, I'm telling you, don't let them people get you trapped. Because when history is written, it will be written about you. There's a history that's written already, you know, about young people and how they mash up this country. And no joke about that. Ask KB, he'll tell you. They got it when they were in their 20s. And they mash it up. And I ain't saying that you're going to mash it up. I'm just saying to you, Everything takes time. Everything takes time. Somebody said to me, Andre, is Deacon ready to lead? I don't believe so. And why is it I don't believe so? Because he was not involved in that sort of a leadership role before in relation to politics. He probably been leading his law firm. That is not a country. A law firm is a law firm. A law firm is not a country. In a law firm, a guy might go to jail because of your mistake, and then you could do something, turn around and appeal. And the guy could do something, come out of jail. But when you make a mistake with a country, you taking 2, 3, 4 generations, you out of office and the mistake is still there, you know. So I am saying, yes, Deacon can lead, no problem, but the time is not yet. That's all I'm saying. I do not believe that, I do not believe. He has not had any political experience, so therefore, he's not in a position to lead a country. If you never had political experience, how you gonna lead a country? Or you think this thing is a joke? Anyway, to each his own. I always say to each his own. But I am speaking directly to my young brothers and sisters this morning, and I'm saying to y'all, be careful. Be careful. Don't let them trick y'all with this thing. Because people like Glenn Noel and others, they sit down in the back, then they're waiting to see if it will work. And then, if it works, you find yourself being controlled. Like a puppet on a string. Yeah, you find yourself being controlled by the Glenn Noels and the Kennedy Roberts and the Vincent Robertses and all the others. You find yourself being controlled by them, yes? Because you would have gotten them what they want. You understand? That is the way it is. So I say to you, young people, yes, I believe in you. And I know you have the ability to lead. Of course, you must have the ability. Because you're the future. However, ask yourself one question. Can I do this? Can I do this without experience? Can I lead without experience? That is something important that we need to know and realize. Good morning, Grenada. Love you. Yeah, finally I see the sideshow guy turn up. Finally. He's turned up. And that was supposed to be since 7:35, eh? Either 7:35 or 7:45, and it's definitely gone past both of them times. Late as per usual.
Who wants to save 30%? Everybody. Now more than ever, Flow understands the need to make your dollar stretch. Our new bundles can help you save 30% off your current bill. Plus, get a free speed upgrade on your in-home internet. Simply add your mobile to your current home services account and save 30%. It's easy. Sign up now and save. All on the most reliable fixed and mobile network on island. Visit a Flow store or call us at 1-800-804-2994 for more information. Flow, it only gets better. Terms and conditions apply.
Introducing the Grenlec mobile app. You can now get your bill balance and easily track energy usage for your home or business. Report and receive alerts about power outages. Plus, stay up to date by receiving the latest notifications. Yes, the Grenlec app keeps you connected anytime, anywhere.
The Housing Authority offers products that people can choose from, products that people can access, and I think anyone looking to build just call the Housing Authority of Grenada. The service was superb. Every step of the way, they collaborated with the owner, they collaborated with the builder. The builder himself was really good. For what I've seen them do, I have to say that from buildings they have done in the past to where they are now, they have come up to speed with modern trends, modern designs, and I think I will advise anybody.
Discover a way to get your favorite Sissons products at colorshop.com. Yes, that's right. You can order the Sissons brand from the comfort of your home. Visit colorshop.com to select from blazing brights to subtle hues in any of your premium quality Sissons products. Still want to take that drive? Then visit us at Frequente Industrial Park or any of our hardware partners nationwide. The Color Shop Painters Studio. Your painting needs under one roof.
Where you walk, what you say, when you talk, where you go, where you walk, what you say, when you talk.
It's a hungry world out there, with everybody scrambling to get a share. Wolves in sheep clothing, birds of prey waiting to swoop down on you, and there's no telling what they'll do. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. Where you go when you're walking, what you say when you're talking.
You got to be careful what you do when you're walking, what you say when you do. You know, there's so many things that you got to be careful about these days, yeah? Snakes in the grass and all kind of thing like that. Yeah, you just got to be careful. Well, I did say we're talking marijuana again this morning. 2 weeks ago we spoke. Was it 2 weeks? As a matter of fact, we were supposed to speak marijuana last week. But a guy, he wasn't high. He never gets high like that. No. He wasn't high. It's just that he just forgot. Well, he does that to me all the time anyway. And I'm supposed to be his friend. So let me see if I can add him to my stream and say, Saisha, good morning. How you doing?
I don't know. Now that
you don't know how you doing?
Now that I've been ran over by the bus a couple of times that you pushed me under, I don't know.
No, I didn't push you under. You stepped in the way of the bus. You did that.
Poor bus.
You did that.
Poor bus driver.
Poor bus driver. Yeah, because you were supposed to talk to me last week, remember? And I pointed you out to you. So whose fault? Mine or yours?
No, we don't blame. It's not good to blame people. Blaming people doesn't produce results. It just produces more blame. So we don't need to blame people. We're responsible for our actions.
Hold on there, bro. You were the one who's called me and you started the blame because, we're not on with this anymore or what? That was a blame.
That's not blame.
No, let me tell you. Hold on. Stay there. That's the North American way of blaming people. And you spend quite a lot. And you know what? Let me just bring in Kevin Edmonds here, Dr. Edmonds here, because he too is having a laugh at you. Good morning, Doc. How you doing? This guy is trying to, he's trying to trick me.
See how the man
good morning to you both. From the warm morning in Toronto, so apologies, I'm on my phone. My baby's at home, so talking too loud, I have to go to the car. But it's great to be with the two of you this morning.
Good, and you say warm and you look like that? Damn,
Yeah,
I
you
wouldn't
look
want to see
warm.
when you cold.
You look warm, bro.
Oh, I miss my family's in St. Lucia. My mother just went back on last Sunday, so I should have followed her and been there right now. So yeah, definitely regretting that.
All right. So which part of Toronto are you?
Me, I'm in Scarborough.
Oh, you're
so
in
just
Scarborough.
the east side, yeah.
You look nice and warm.
Oh, you tell. Oh,
Looks
okay.
can be deceiving. I have to bundle up. This is survival. The weather's trying to kill you otherwise.
Come home, come home.
All
Oh,
right,
that's
so
the plan.
let's let everybody knows this other guy, Dr. Edmonds. Let's get to know you a bit. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Everybody knows this other guy there.
Okay, well, again, thank you for having me on. So the reason I believe why I'm on the show is I'm teaching here at the University of Toronto. I have my PhD. I'm in Caribbean Studies. My degree, my dissertation looked at cannabis economies in St. Lucia and St. Vincent, so just a bit north to you too. And what I did was I was looking at the issue of legalization. So I jumped into it thinking that I would go and talk to politicians and people on the ground, and everyone would say legalization 100%. This is the way to go. There are, it would be a way to address all the human rights concerns. It's way to improve our stagnant economy, to diversify it. And I found that politicians wouldn't talk to me. They just said it's illegal. We're not dealing with it. Mind you, the context was 2014, 2015. So it's a bit different than today. But the people that I actually spoke to were the people in the hills, people on the street corner, on the block. And they told me that legalization is not a straightforward path, that they wanted to make sure if legalization was going to happen, that they had a spot within it. And if not, they would rather see things the way that they were, meaning it being illegal, because that was a way for them to eat and provide for their families.
Now that's excuse me. That's a very interesting analogy there, because leave it illegal, and I'm prepared to take my chances and make whatever monies I can make, as opposed to making it legal. Wow, that's a tough one. Saisha, do you think we have that same thing in Grenada?
Similar, yeah. What's with how the with how both sides of the argument is being argued from decrim to legal, the way how we're framing that argument is basically if we step back from it, it'd probably be better if we leave it illegal. The majority of people in Grenada probably stand to make more money if you left it illegal compared to what they're proposing right now. It's not that what they're proposing is wrong per se. It's we need to have a more nuanced look at it so that when we write that bill, it actually protects our people, our community, our business community, the people who have traditionally been involved in it, things like that. So that it's not we're saying no to decrim or no to legalize. Either one of them can work, but for them to work for the best of Grenada, we have to be careful and mindful of how we write that. You see what I mean?
Now, this is very interesting because, Doc, I've never heard, I don't know, probably you spoke to him this morning, because I've always heard him say, legalize, legalize, legalize. And then he has just said to me, Doc, we're not saying no to decrim and we're not saying no to legalization, but we're saying, hey, let's write the best bill for whichever one we choose. Thank you, Doc. You're great. Nice to have you in my company. You might change a couple of things about me also. But I know you were going to say something. What was that, Doc?
I think as well. And this is something that was told to me when I was doing my work, is that legalization makes perfect sense if we lived in a perfect world. And we know that that's not the case, that there's a lot of politics, there's a lot of power that we have to be conscious of when the bill is being written. And that we have two examples in the region so far in terms of Jamaica and St. Vincent, both really important, I think, in some cases, brave reforms that were made, but there are issues with it that the region can learn from to go forward. And I think that's the biggest thing, is that I also want people to not go to prison for growing or consuming herb, right? For cannabis, it's a plant. It shouldn't be illegal to begin with. That's a big history in and of itself. But these laws were inherited by Grenada and the rest of the Caribbean from the British, which really didn't have a sensible science-based policy behind it. It was punitive, it was racist, it was classist. And we need to find a way out that will address these wrongs that will happen, because even in Canada, where I am right now, legalization happened a few years ago, and it's not what people thought it would be. that it is a handful of lawyers, people connected to political parties, people in big tech and finance, that they're the ones that are, and a lot of police officers that are running the industry here. And people that had been locked up, a lot of indigenous people, a lot of black people. You had a lot of people in Toronto in particular, Vietnamese community were involved in a lot of the cannabis growing here. They don't have a place, they don't have a foothold in the industry in any way. But they were the ones that bore the brunt of building up the industry and being penalized for so long. So you see this happening in the case of the states. You see similar reforms, that legalization needs to be mindful of the existing power imbalances in society. And so if you can do that and be confident that what you will get on the other side is good enough, that is important. And I think that's a conversation that has not been had. So I'm glad to be having it with you.
Oh, thank you. But let's look at legalization. Saisha, you being the guru on this, how many countries in the Caribbean now would have legalized, Saisha?
I think Antigua might be the only one. The rest, so this is something that we have to be mindful of. The words we're using, people aren't really looking at what those words mean when other people use them. So, for example, in St. Vincent, the law is specifically towards medical marijuana, as is in Jamaica. It is not legal. Do you understand? It is only for a specific niche. What I was arguing is that legalization in Grenada should be for the whole entire genome, but not just empty legalization, just pass a bill, we're legal, do whatever you want. Because if we do that, we will be writing ourselves out of the profit that is to be made from this thing. What I was been arguing from since day one is that we need to write a proper bill, take some time, sit down, craft a bill. If that means we have to look at all the other bills that's passed and get the best from them, or we have to come up with our own generically, organically, let's do that. So that when we're finished, we have a bill that protects Grenadian sovereignty, the Grenadian people, the people who have been traditionally abused by this law, so that there is some equity in the law. Not we tend to look at equity and equality. If we made things equal, poor people will lose. That's a word used by rich people to keep people on the foot. If we made it equal for the rich people to pay the same amount as poor people to get into the industry, we would have failed. Because most of the people in Grenada don't have the lands to grow 100 pounds of weed. Most people don't have the money to get into medical marijuana like that. How do we protect those farmers? That's why we were advocating no more than 10 acres per permit or whatever, so that small farmers can get in. That's why we were advocating if big companies or foreign companies want to get in the industry, they either have to share some of their profits so that the regular Grenadian people, since we only 100,000 people, have some way to get behind this and go, you know what, I can support this because I can see myself making something from this, even if it's a penny.
Let me ask Dr. Edmonds. I believe I want you to go down the road of explaining to us decrim, as in decriminalization, and legalization, because I honestly do believe that we are still mixed up in relation to those two words, and you probably are in the best position, Saisha being as biased as he is, you know. I wouldn't trust you with that.
There goes the bus again. There goes the bus again. All right, Doc, if you ever see a bus, once you get out the car, make sure to look 4 times before you get up. If you see a bus, run, Bridget. If you ever see this man, if you're in the bush and you see this man, run, because you will push. I mean, good Lord. It's not even 8:20 yet, and the man is pushing heavy.
Anyway, so tell us. Yeah. So give us decriminalization, legalization. Explain those two words.
Okay, so decriminalization is what it sounds like. You're taking away the legal penalties for, often it's consumption related, right? Or moving to a system of fines if people are caught to be growing. It's a limited way of dealing with a problem which is wide-ranging in the economy. There's a lot of different roles that people play as consumers, traffickers, people that consume it for medicinal purposes, recreational purposes. And the case of St. Vincent is important because they did not legalize recreational consumption. So they gave an exemption for cultural and religious purposes. So Rastafari can use it as a sacrament. They will not be penalized for it. But it's not open season that they can consume it anywhere or be free to grow as much as they want or consume as much as they want, right? There are limitations that are put by the government which restrict what you can and cannot do. So the biggest thing, if you're talking about building an economy or trying to diversify the economy or getting a piece of the pie, would come with legalization, because that's where you're dealing with this otherwise gray area under decriminalization, which is growing, production, and the sale. So, it's like what happens now. We don't know. Well, we know where cannabis is grown, but it magically appears in the hand of someone on a street corner. They're smoking a spliff, right? We don't, thinking in terms of the economy, with it being illegal, it shouldn't happen because there should be restrictions in place to prevent that from happening. But it happens anywhere around the world. Legalization opens it up a lot more. It allows people to openly declare themselves producers, so they could apply for a license, for example, form a cooperative, go to a bank to get a loan. These things are theoretical, because even in reality, these things can be big obstacles, which is what I think Saisha's mentioning as well about equity being important. And so it changes the game. It doesn't mean there's no restrictions in place. So in Canada, we have legalization. There's still a limit to the amount that you can buy in a day. Any seller is regulated by the laws of our province. So here in Ontario, in Toronto, they talk about where schools or like stores can't be close to schools, for example. There can only be so many located next to places that sell alcohol. If you are a place that sells cannabis, you cannot sell alcohol. So there's still rules with it. It doesn't mean it's like a libertarian paradise where there's no rules and you do whatever you want, but people are allowed to grow under certain conditions if you follow certain rules. And in a lot of ways, it was to try and get people to come into the legal system and pay taxes, right, on this product that people were consuming anyways. And we do have a lot of issues here in Toronto right now, or in Canada, where the black market hasn't gone away because a lot of people see it as being ineffective, too burdensome. And for the consumers, the product has been really bad. Dry, stale, crusty, bugs on it. And it's cheaper to go to the black market. So even here, where in Canada, where we do have some practice with it, there's still a lot of refining that needs to be done, both from the equity side, but also from a way of revenue generation, because it was thought of as being a massive opportunity. And for some people it was, who were well placed and got in early. Like any business, you get your feet wet early, you get some insider information, you get things set up. But for the average person, it hasn't changed their life for a lot of people, because if you were smoking cannabis in your house before, no one really knew. The police really didn't bug you unless you're black or indigenous, where they would go and actively search to see if you had cannabis, right? So the people that benefited from the legalization were people that would have never been in a bad position before. The cops would have never stopped them. They had plenty of business opportunities and ventures elsewhere in other sectors of the economy. So we're seeing that this is still something that needs to be tweaked. And we've been, I have been, and other members of the community have been trying to get things to be improved. And obviously there's, like I mentioned, there's money and power at play. So legalization and decriminalization, they're both important tools. But I think ultimately at the end of the day, what the people of Grenada have to ask is, what do they want the industry to look like? And do they want to get a piece of the pie? Because the way to get there, yes, legalization is a way to get there. But legalization is just not a blanket solution. That there has to be a path forward to say that the average person today will be no better or no worse off than they are tomorrow, right? So that means that the growers up in the hills, right, the small time traffickers, that money, even if it might be relatively insignificant to us, will still be around for them, right? Because that can be the difference between them paying the school fees for the year, come Christmas, or if they need to repair their dwelling. to help them even transition into other legal business ventures that they don't have collateral from a bank. If that's going to be taken out of the economy, that's a lot of money. And where are these people going to turn to? Often, in the case, it can be to other forms of criminal activity, which can be more violent. So you can see people getting more involved in gangs, armed robbery, break and enter, cocaine trafficking. We've seen these kinds of things happen in other places. So how legalization is approached is a really big issue to be dealt with before any bill is passed. And having a model in place that you can propose to people or even challenge the status quo and say that this is what we're proposing. We want to make sure that we have a seat at the table, historically marginalized groups, right? So if you talk about Rastafari in particular, in the case of Grenada, but also small growers, traditional growers, that they do have a seat at the table. And St. Vincent and Jamaica have tried to do this, but it has not been, it has its own issues. And this is where Grenada can benefit from the experiences of other places when it came to cannabis reform.
No, the question I really believe deserves to be asked here straight up from an independent position, although you are Grenadian, right, Doc?
This is St. Lucian. My mom's St. Lucian, yeah.
Oh, your mom is St. Lucian. Okay, I thought you were Grenadian. Why did I think that? Maybe Saisha told me that. Threw him under the bus again. Maybe I just threw him under the bus again.
I'm a Caribbean man, so it's okay.
That is great. That is lovely. That is really, really good. Caribbean man. So from somebody who is totally separate and apart from this, you look at all this. You've done the paper in relation to St. Lucia, correct? And now you've looked at what has happened, or what continues to happen in Jamaica, what continues to happen just north of us, which is, as you mentioned, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. What do you think Grenada should do?
I think what's really important is for information to get out, for people to have an open and honest conversation, but having the tools and numbers available to them. Because what I think is tricky for a lot of people is that you don't realize the size and contribution of cannabis to the Grenadian economy, because it's something that's underground. The cops might have seizure statistics, but all of that is still a drop in the bucket. So what I did in St. Lucia and St. Vincent, the police say, I mean, whether you believe them or not is another question. They say that they catch about 10% of all the cannabis that comes onto the island, whether being grown or trafficked. So Grenada has these statistics available to us. So I put this together and I developed a method of trying to calculate how much that means for the average person, a conservative amount or an actual street value amount. In the case of St. Lucia, which is not a really big cannabis player compared to St. Vincent, which really, exports to the Eastern and Southern Caribbean, and even as far as the States and Europe, cannabis is worth more to the St. Lucian economy than bananas at its peak. So I looked from the late 1980s until when I did my dissertation in 2015, then bananas and remittances. So people sending money from abroad combined. That's huge, right? Because bananas was the green gold at the time. And by looking at that in St. Lucia, it's just like, it's not known. Like everyone knows Vinci weed. Like this St. Vincent is the major exporter. And for them, it's several times more, like 6 or 7 times more than agriculture, legal agriculture and remittances combined. So you have to find a way, and there should be a proposal that says we are going to ensure that money, it's still not perfectly distributed during prohibition right now. But to get an idea of that size and to say that we are going to make sure that stays in the community or stays in the hands of Grenadian people, and it's not just getting bought up by big business or foreign investors, that this is money that's going to circulate in our economy, because that's what happens for the most part. People are not stashing it away in offshore bank accounts. They're going to buy their groceries. They're going to go buy the cooking gas, right? They're going to try and save to make their life a bit better, but that goes into the hands of other small business people. So getting that information out to people, I think, changes the conversation in the sense that they realize what's at stake, how much money is there, and what could be lost if legalization is just gobbled up by a bunch of foreign investors connected to local politicians, business people, and so on.
So do you think that we are at a position where we can, or where we should, decriminalize and then look, because and that I'm speaking this based on the fever that is behind it, based on not world pressure, but based on what is happening throughout the world. And you cannot, I mean, Grenada, nor St. Vincent, nor St. Lucia, or wherever, you cannot stay out of what is happening in the world today. Yeah. So do you believe that a country like Grenada can say, okay, fine, you know what? Let us decriminalize, because we do not want our young people to go to jail. We want persons who use marijuana for medicinal purposes and persons who use marijuana as a sacrament, the Rastas. We want them not to have to go to court every Monday morning and pay a fine. So what we're going to do is decriminalize now, but leave the conversation open so that we continue that conversation and look towards legalizing, and do it quickly so that we don't get left out of the whole market. Is that what you're proposing?
I think that is a measured and cautious way to approach it. And I think that that's the issue, is that if that conversation has not been had about what legalization will look like in terms of a comprehensive plan and how it's going to be inclusive of, you know, the poor, the historically marginalized people, Rastafari, and so on, I would support that. But I think the conversation needs to look to is, what do you ultimately want? And whether that is, we want to have a black market because we want the profit to be there, but we are going to make sure that the government is not going to arrest people for smoking a spliff. That it's, you know, the cannabis industry is not, it's a criminal enterprise because it's been made illegal, but it doesn't have the same level of violence as we have in cocaine trafficking, right? For example, like, I think the police would also admit this, right? There's two different kinds of drug trades that we have in the Caribbean. There's the cannabis trade and there's the cocaine trade, and they're not the same. They involve different people, different amounts of money, different levels of risk.
Different mindset of the people, yeah.
And what's important with that too is that cannabis is an industry that's actually from the bottom up. Cocaine is just passing through, right? So it's a quick and, I don't say easy, because we know that the damage that this causes to a lot of people in communities, it's not easy. But that money is quick, but the product is not from here. You know, some people do consume it, you know, whether it's in powder form, crack cocaine. But cannabis is something from the seed to the plant to the fertilizer to the tarps that the people have up in the shanties in the hills, the tools, all of this stuff. It contributes to the economy in a way that there is actually no other comparison now, because bananas are dead, right? So this is something that's really important. Do you want to get the entire industry, right, and as a platform to economic development overall? Or do you just want to make sure that this human rights issue has been dealt with, where people are not ending up in courts? And I think that both things can be done, but you need to be quite brave and confident and creative in how you approach legalization. And it's not to be mean to the politicians, but I think for so long, they have rightfully been afraid of what the United States is going to do if you talk about reform, right? You know, that the US is going to blacklist you and sanction you, and people are still using that as an excuse. But the states themselves, I mean, it's never stopped them from being a hypocrite before. But Jamaica has not been invaded. They have not been sanctioned. St. Vincent has not had any legal repercussions happen to it since they have announced their reform. So I think that needs to be taken off the table, because you do see Mexico, Colombia, South Africa, lots of countries are saying we're going to move forward with cannabis reform in one way or another. And Grenada needs to realize, like, if it comes to the point of being a pioneer in the industry or getting a stranglehold on the industry, that ship has already sailed. Canada is not going to be buying Grenadian cannabis for the most part. Canada has too much. There's an oversupply here, right? People are going bust, stocks are dropping, companies are going bankrupt. If you look this up, so we're not a source for most Grenadian cannabis. right? So this is really important. So what we need to think about are local economies, regional economies, and how, if Grenada does legalize, how they can capture most of the value from it. So that means, like, yes, you can smoke the flower, you can consume the flower, but maybe it involves refining the oils, right? Maybe there's a regional solution to that, because right now, you know, and I was talking with Saisha about this, and what I talk about is that if you're not careful about how you legalize, we're going to just turn this into the plantation of the 21st century, where, you know, what really is going to happen is that you have foreign investors that can buy the land, they can use Grenadian people for the cheap labor. The sunshine is free. You know, there'll be irrigation and stuff like that, but it will be for low cost cannabis, right? And often that's what is necessary for medicinal products, is the oils, and that's what St. Vincent is really looking to, right? When they talk about medicinal, because you can sell the oil, it's refined, but that's bulk. You need a lot of flour to create the oil, right? So this is where St. Vincent, Jamaica, Grenada, a lot of countries will be, but it's at the bottom of the value chain. But it doesn't have to be that way, because there is a lot. Like, if you do get these numbers about Grenada, and that's something I was talking to Saisha about, like, I would be happy to plug in the numbers if I can get them from the police, to actually tell you how much the illicit cannabis market is worth to Grenada as of today. We can do that, and then we can understand how much this contributes to the economy overall. That this is a big chunk of money that's circulating, right? We know that economies have been devastated by COVID, but this is something that is really acting as a safety net for a lot of people that otherwise would not have access to this income. And if you take that away, it's going to cause a lot of issues.
Let me just say this here, because I wrote down, since you mentioned the word black market, I wrote that down. And I started myself thinking and realizing, and I'm almost certain that there's quite a large percentage of young people who smoke marijuana. And they do that because it is something that is illegal. And, you know, young people like challenges. It's not about the high. It's not about anything else. It is just about, hey, this is what is in. It's illegal, so let's do it, that kind of a thing. And I am convinced that is happening right here in Grenada. So when you spoke black market, I started thinking about that. No, in reference to the same black market, if we do decrim, which doesn't make it illegal that way, I am almost certain, Saisha, that a lot of people just, I ain't no bother with that again, man. I ain't smoking that, because it's not something that is against the status quo. What do you think, Doc? Oh, Saisha, Saisha, go ahead.
Not necessarily. The data doesn't really support that. So what it supports is that the new people, the new users, people new to cannabis, will taper off. All the numbers will basically just taper off once legalization or decriminalization happens, because that rebelliousness out of it is gone. I don't get that taboo, that joy, that thing I can show, I can floss with my friends. I'm a bad man. That's gone. So like the new people coming into weed, those people that was using that to get in, those people will fall off because there won't be that need for it. The people who are in it that was using it for that, they actually will fall out.
So you're going to lose some.
You will lose some. However, the people who are consistently users of cannabis, the new users to cannabis, because there will be an uptick in users. Because there's a lot of people sitting on the side right now that are adults that would love to participate in partake in cannabis. But because the law says it's illegal, I go to church. I'm not going and do that. I'm not trying to break no law. But if the law now changes and I could use cannabis legally, whether recreationally, medicinal, or industrially, I'm going to try that because I can use it. Now, especially if I know I'm informed of how to use it safely. You see what I mean? That's what this whole education thing from since 2012 to now has been about, is to get people informed about what is the best way to use. That's what I've been saying from since day one. Smoking cannabis is the least productive thing we could do. Doesn't mean that you can't do it, but it's the least you can do with cannabis compared to all the multitudes of other things you could do, even for yourself in terms of ingesting. Dude, you could rub under your foot and ingest cannabis. You could rub it in the palms of your hand and ingest cannabis and get high, quote unquote. So we need to figure out and start talking to our people in an adult way about cannabis and about all the other things, but especially cannabis, so that we can understand this is not about pushing drugs. As a matter of fact, the reason we're pushing this is to get us away from pushing drugs.
Let me ask you this, Saisha. We've been friends for quite a long time now, but we've had conversation, but unless we are talking on air like this and we're trying to educate our people, we have never spoken about marijuana. Why? You never tell me, okay, fine, here's a spliff, smoke a spliff, Andre. You've never said that. Well, you keeping the good thing away from me?
No, I like that one. No, I don't think so. I'm
Yeah. Tell me. Stop stuttering. Stop stuttering.
No, I'm not stuttering.
Right.
I'm trying to make sure that what I say is appropriate. Take the tourism industry. You go on Grand Anne's Beach. I just picked up some people 2 days ago and took them to Seven Sisters. And her argument was, I went on the beach and I saw one person that just pressured me to buy something. And it's not that I didn't want to buy something, but once he pressured me, I just was like, I'm good. If my thing has always been this, just because I do something and I think it's safe, doesn't mean I need to push it on you. If you, Andre, asked me for a spliff, we would have a different conversation. If you asked me about cannabis, we'd have that conversation. But other than to talk to you about cannabis in terms of the show and getting people informed, there's no reason for me to be beating Andre in the head with weed talk. That doesn't get him to listen to me. As a matter of fact, that might get him to stop listening to me altogether, even though what I'm saying might be the best thing for Andre.
Sure, right on that one.
See? So if I've listened to radio in Grenada, I've looked at television in Grenada, and what tends to happen, what I've seen happen is you tend to hear the same voice over and over and over and over on a message without other voices added into it. So it almost becomes as if that voice has an agenda. Even though the voice is singing the sweetest song, people start to hear it as womp, 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 womp. It's just noise. Because I keep seeing you too much. I keep hearing you too much. You're like a know-it-all. Give me somebody else. And then I could put some meat to bone, because now I see other people talking about the same thing, maybe even in the same language that you've been speaking. It gives it validation. It gives it meat.
Hey, Doc, where is St. Lucia in all of this?
St. Lucia's in the middle of, because they have a new government that came in last year, that they're trying to push this reform. The debate's been happening there for a long time. Some of the folks that are involved, I think they're well-meaning, but they're overly trusting of foreign investment in particular. I think that they're so easy to see a change in the law, and understandably so, because there's real human costs to this. But you can rush into bad ideas very quickly, and I think that is something that we need to be mindful of. Looking at how you structure the industry from the beginning is really important, because once the cat is out of the bag, it's really difficult to reverse course, right? And in Canada, the US, the different states, we are seeing that. Some states have better setups than others in terms of generating tax revenue, where that's going to go. Like, these things need to be thought out, because otherwise it will be a cash grab by those that actually are quite well looked after already. And thinking, and this is the thing too, like, as the Caribbean, as a region, as a people, we can be very timid when it comes to these kinds of opportunities, because we have always been told, if you put too much restrictions, or in the case of like tourism, any restriction, you will lose out. They'll build the hotel in Antigua instead of Grenada. So what ends up happening in Grenada, they give like 25-year tax holidays to billion-dollar companies to get access to the beach and so on. They do that with every country that they go to, right? So the issue is that, what does Grenada want? Do you want to say, we are confident of setting up an industry where, yes, we might not all become rich off of this, but our society is going to be a better place because more people have access to legitimate jobs, sources of income. They can be educated consumers or producers of cannabis. Some people will say, I want nothing to do with it at all. That's fine. Think of it like, I know in society, alcohol is everywhere, but you can also abstain. You can know that alcohol has certain impacts on your health, relationships, society overall, drinking and driving. But the thing is that we trust people to make the decisions which work for them. There are regulations. There's a drinking age, for example.
There's something that a co-host of mine says, and what you've just said there, Doc, reminds me of it. You spoke of something that reminds me of the greater good for the greater number of people, and not just having the marijuana as something that big business alone can benefit from this. This has to be something where the wealth is spread across the nation. Correct? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, 100%. And I think that we can't, there's a lot of pressure on people like Saisha that's going to be putting the reforms through or the bill through. Cannabis is not a cure-all for all the society's ills, right? It's going to reflect a lot of these imbalances in power and this injustice that has been happening to people that consume produce for recreational, sacramental purposes. But the cultivation of cannabis is not going to fix things, because if you look at agriculture overall in the Caribbean, we are still importing things that we can grow for the most part, right? Coconut oil, it's a massive spike right now. Cocoa, the prices are shooting through the roof. In St. Lucia, something that is crazy. My mom was telling me she went to our cousin works at one of the hotels, is that the bananas at the hotel were from Ecuador.
What?
Yeah. So if the
John Compton will be turning in his grave.
Yeah, but it's not uncommon that they're getting these things from Miami because it can be produced cheaper, because the government doesn't support local agriculture. The hotels don't want to support local agriculture. That there's no regulation. So technically nothing is wrong with that. But you're selling out your own people by doing this, right? And this is the model that we need to break away from, because otherwise this is definitely what is going to happen, that you could have cannabis grown in Mexico, the funny enough, it could be from the United States, which punishes and locks up people from Grenada all the time for a small spliff, whatever. You could be buying from them, right? You could be out of a job. Or in the case of Canada, where you do have a lot of people from St. Vincent, but I'm sure there are people from Grenada as well, working in the greenhouses here as cheap labor.
Hey, stop there. There are Grenadians. There are Grenadians who go to the farm program in Canada. Yeah. As a matter of fact, there's one guy I know right now, a good friend of mine, and he has been in the farm program now for this. He's back now. So that would have been his third go, not in the cannabis industry, but in other maybe picking apples or whatever else.
Yep.
But this is his third go, and he says, Andre, this time I'm going to be asking to go into the cannabis industry. I says, why? He said, because it affords more in terms of the money that I can make. And he says, because I've done this 3 times and I've never had a problem, I didn't run away, I didn't whatever, now they will qualify me almost immediately once I make the request into the cannabis industry. So yes, there are Grenadians who are into that industry in Canada. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But it's a shame Grenada's losing out on that. They could have the expertise. They could have this, individual growing and contributing to the economy in Grenada and building it up instead, right? So I think that's what we would like to see happen, that people don't have to leave to have an opportunity to do that.
So you were saying something?
You see that farm piece? Remember when we first started this conversation, I had said to you that it would be a disservice to our country, our history, and our people if we did anything for weed, whether decriminal or legalized, where we did not protect agriculture as a whole. We cannot.
Yeah, you did say that if a man was to come in and plant 100 acres of cannabis, then you'd expect that man to do the same 100 acres of food.
And that's being a bit much. But at least half of what you're planting, so that we, like, remember right now the numbers are we import 80% of our food, which makes no sense to me because everywhere you look in Grenada, food is falling off trees. So if we do this carelessly, we will be in a situation where we're importing 100% of our food. And that will be sad. If we can tie this bill to growing food, that gives an incentives to everyone. The farmers who want nothing to do with weed and the farmers who only want to deal with weed, now they both have to join, because you can't do weed in Grenada on any large. If you want to do 5 plants, 10 plants, 10, 15 plants in your house, please, by all means, go ahead. But if you're going to do acreage, anything more than 1 acre of weed planted, you must have at least half or equal amount of acreage planted with food, so we protect our sovereignty.
Here's a message that just came in on this red fella here. And it simply says, Andre, what is going to happen is the black market trade is going to develop. That's what the person is saying. The black market trade is going to develop. And then you would have a situation in the Caribbean where the person who is selling the weed on the black market end, he'd be able to tell a man, yo, I have some good St. Lucian weed here. Yo, I have some good Jamaican weed here. So it's now about where the weed comes from on the black market, and not necessarily having the weed, but guy has something out of Brazil that is supposed to be tasting good, and something that comes out of Antigua that is supposed to be rocking the skull. You know, that's what the person is saying.
That's an interesting analysis. Do you know that's actually what's happening right now on the ground?
Is it?
That's literally, there is a
well,
big
there you go.
black market in the Caribbean. The Caribbean literally is the black market of weed. And that's literally happening because the man in Grenada can't go and grow 100 pounds to support his clients. So he has to bring that in somehow. The guy in Trinidad has to do the same thing. The guy in Guyana, Jamaica, all of them have to do it. Even in St. Vincent and Jamaica, where weed is grown, my God, prolifically, they still importing weed from America and Canada to sell on the streets, so they can say, hey, I got some weed from Colombia, some Venezuelan, some Canadian, some Jamaican, some this, that, and the third, because that's what the market allows. When there is no regulation, when there's no way for someone to apply their trade legally, the intelligent brains that we keep sending to school and educating will find a way around all these obstacles. It just may not be the way we want. And what we're advocating is, instead of allowing an intelligent brain to rot and do dumbness just to put food on table, how about we allow that brain to flourish so we could get the best from that brain, and society can flourish because of that?
A couple of years ago, Doc, that guy that you're viewing there on the screen with us said to me that we need to do, yes, you that
I thought it was
guy
you.
no.
I'm like,
yeah, he said to me, we need to do a program, and I vacillated. You see, I'm going under the bus of myself now. I vacillated in relation to the program, and hence it started a couple of weeks ago. But I'm seeing here a bit more, because now I'm realizing that there's a lot we have to do in relation to the education, and not just to speak to decriminalization or legalization. We can just do and say, yo, lawmakers and politicians or whatever, solve that. Deal with that yourself. That's your baby. You handle it. But we should take the responsibility here of educating our people so that we can lift them up and we can let them know, hey, this thing, yes, while you can consume it and you can get high and whatever, but there are other things you can do. There are other ways we can cause this to benefit us, and we now need to, and you can say to these same people, while yes, we appreciate what the government is doing, but it's now our time again to say to them, yes, you have done that, but we want more. We want you to take it a bit further. We appreciate how far you've gone, but you need to take it further, because these are the different ways we can make monies greater good for the greater number of people again there. And I'm willing, as I did promise him before, I was going to give him some radio time in the night, but I was very reluctant to leave and come back in after being on the day, come back in the night. Yeah, right. You can say whatever you want. Yeah, you can just stay there and say what you want. But nonetheless, I believe Doc, strangely enough, our spirits kind of like hit this morning, and I believe with yourself and Saisha and other people that Saisha can come up with, we can have good programs that are not just for Grenadian people, but Doc, we can share it with people out of St. Lucia. You can say, hey, I am on this program on Wednesdays, on Mondays, on whatever days for at least an hour, or other people who think like me, who will be giving information like I'll be giving to you, is on this program. Let's talk weed. Oh, is that the name of it?
That's a good one.
Let's talk weed. And we can sell this throughout the Caribbean because we have a responsibility. And
Yep.
we should do it. I mean, we can't just sit back and just say, okay, fine, legalize, decriminalize, whatever you want to do, you do. And then we say that, and then we look at a bunch of junkheads walking around. Then we will be guilty.
Yeah, of not doing our job.
Right? So what say you on this, Doc?
Oh, I would be down 100%, but I just want to make sure, and you can call me Kevin too.
Okay. No. Okay.
I'm not one of those. I'm not one of those. But what I just want to make sure when I get across too, and if listeners are there, I am a person that went into this study with my own ideas. I was proven wrong very clearly and early on by talking to the people that were actually involved in the trade, right? They're the ones that need to be involved. Like, I know that because I have a degree and stuff like this, people value my opinion, which is, I'm happy. But again, I am just amplifying what I was told from the people on the block, people in the hills, because a lot of politicians didn't want to talk to them because they had their own ideas and agenda of what legalization or decriminalization or reform should look like and who it should include and benefit. So I have had to deal with a lot of people saying I'm a hater because I don't want to see countries prosper through legalization. And it's the furthest thing from that. My family, my grandfather was a banana farmer in the Mabia Valley, growing bananas. All my uncles, they're all struggling now to find an alternative. I saw my cousins, same age, go to Martinique, set up a shop, get involved in trafficking. There people involved with stuff in Venezuela, bad stuff. So I don't want that to happen to other people. I want people to have a chance to live a good, decent, safe life. I don't think it needs to be millionaire or bust.
Right.
That there's plenty of opportunity here. But this show, going back to that, definitely very, very important. I would be happy to be part of it and assist however needed.
All right. So we've got you. We've got the other guy there.
See how my name changed real quick?
No.
You went from
Come
doctor
on.
to Kevin. I went from doctor to the other guy did. Wow.
No.
But we're growing.
Kevin, you must realize that if I'm going to throw all this at him, we must be some kind of good brethren or something. There must be some harmony there.
No, I see that.
Yeah. All right, so we have that. Saisha, you and I are going to have a conversation before the end of the day tomorrow.
Okay.
We're going to have a conversation. You have my numbers, I have your numbers. We're going to and sit down and spend at least half an hour and map out this, because I believe that whereas, yes, the Monday morning is good to give people something, but we can have another one. We can, and even when we have the other one, and it may not reflect what we would have done on the Monday morning, so we can package it, do excerpts from it and play it back so that people can hear the different discussions that we'd have had on that one in the evening time. We'll look at time that's available in terms of which days are available, and we'll do at least let me see, about an hour to start with in the night. Kevin, you think?
I think that would be great.
Right. So we'll look at an hour to start with one of these nights, and we start the program. The name of it is Let's Talk Weed.
Let's move.
Yeah, I know you like that, Saisha. You want to talk weed a long time ago, anyway.
No, I actually want to talk bills. See, remember it's not
what?
Talk weed is to get them to listen. I want to talk bills. This is what I want to talk about. Man, them bills are important. That's right. Like I said, that's what will protect us.
Kevin, it was really, really nice talking to you. I really enjoyed myself. And as you said, you downloaded. Saisha knows how to reach you. I will know how to reach you sooner rather than later. And we do this thing together. Not only the politicians can have diplomatic relations between countries, we too can have our own weedematic relations. I can call it that.
Diplomatic?
With diplomatic relations, we can have that, and we do have that. So let's try and educate our people. Once we start the program, we'll start sharing the link throughout the Caribbean so that people can listen and they can also have input, because the program that I'm using to bring you up here, Kevin, we can include 1, 2, 3, I think up to about 9 persons on it at any one point in time once we send the link to them. So we can, we can be speaking to anybody anywhere in the world that you would have made contact with that can give information. And that is what we're going to seek to use the program to do, to give information as to now you get what you want. Not do you want more, but how do you deal with what you get? Because it's all well and good to get decrim. It's all well and good to get legalization. What are you going to do with it? Mm-hmm. That is what I believe is the most important thing. All right. So, guys, Kevin, thanks so much. Have a wonderful day. And please say to your baby that we are really, really sorry to take you away that early in the morning. Yeah? Please say that.
No problem.
Let the wife know that. Yeah, we're very sorry to take you away.
On my part, tell her really I'm sorry.
No, I'm happy to wake up. It's important. You want things to change, you got to wake up, right? So
yeah.
All right. Okay, bro. Take care again, Kevin, and have a wonderful one. Yeah.
All right.
Saisha. Yeah. All right, Saisha, how you doing now? What are you going to be doing for the rest of the day?
I got to go to work. I got a tour, I think.
You got a tour today?
Yeah. That thing I told you about, you need to give me an update on that.
Yeah.
I think Friday.
I'm good. Oh, Friday. Yeah. So let me see what I can do today, tomorrow, whatever. Yeah?
Yeah, let me know.
All right. So take care of my brother. Drive safely.
Yeah, just call me when you're ready to discuss that, or hit me up on WhatsApp.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Be safe, brother.
When are you gonna give me a tour?
When you're available. Not this week. Anytime after next week, I'm available. Just give me a time and we could do that whenever you're ready.
Take care of my brother. One love. Peace.
Same to you.
All right then. Great. All right. It is real. It's 91.9, 91.5, www.therealfmgrenada.com. Speaking there to Dr. Kevin Edmonds, and he's from St. Lucia. And of course, how do you call him? Our weed expert? Saisha. Yeah, he's a good guy. So he was the one who was able to organize the interview with Dr. Edmonds. And coming out of that, for me, the biggest thing coming out of that is the fact that neither is saying, hey, legalize or hey, decriminalize. And they're saying that both sides, to decriminalize, there will be challenges. To legalize, there will most definitely be challenges. So we need to do some work as to what is best for the Grenadian people at this particular point in time. As a matter of fact, I get the feeling that they're sliding more to decrim now and then leave it open, if I'm to use that word, so that you look at what you can do as we move along as a nation here. This is real. This is 91.9 FM. That came out of it, but the biggest thing out of it is that we are going to do at least a 1-hour program one of these evenings, and maybe every week, maybe every other week, we will do so as to continue educating you, not just the Grenadian people, but the Caribbean people on marijuana. Good morning, Grenada. Good morning, Caribbean. Good morning to the WORLD. It is indeed a joy to be with you this and every morning here on your favorite radio station. Stay with us.
Ozone really gets it clean. Get with the Ozone family line of products. Ozone liquid laundry detergent. Perfect for your semi or fully automatic washing machines. Yet suitable for your hand wash. Soft on your hands. Ozone disinfectant cleaner. It's the most powerful disinfectant and cleaner with a long-lasting fresh scent. Tackles every job around the house or office. Ozone detergent powder and ultra soft fabric softener gets your clothes clean with a natural freshness. Keeps your colors bright. Choose from the wonderful scents: soft flower, ocean breeze, and the new aloe vera. Keep your kitchen sparkling clean with the Ozone dishwashing liquid, Ozone sponges, and cleaning cloth. Ozone Ozone Toilet Bowl Cleaner removes lime scale and kills germs while giving your toilet a refreshing scent. Ozone really gets it clean. Marketed and distributed by Calico, Frequente St. George's, and are available at shops and supermarkets nationwide.
Now more than ever, Flow is working hard to keep you connected to the things that matter most. Your family, your work, and your favorite entertainment. We are also providing Flow Study free of charge so students can stay connected and up to date with their schoolwork. And because your safety is our highest priority, you can manage your account from the safety of your own home through the MyFlow app. We are here for you, keeping you connected.
Good day, Mr. James. I'm just here looking at Grenlec's new mobile app.
Sounds great. Can I use it to check my bill balance?
Absolutely. Let me show you. Enter your account number and Grenlec access number, and that's it. You can now check your balance, track your usage, receive outage alerts, and get updates from Grenlec in real time. You can even use the app to report a power outage or a fault with a pole or street light. Add as many accounts as you want. Track your business account, apartment rentals, and Granny's account, all in one convenient place.
Thanks, Susan. I'll be telling everyone I know about Grenlec's new app.
The Grenlec mobile app. Download for 24/7 access.
M&M Hardware Limited, Hope St. Andrew and Dusty Highway St. George. Shop conveniently for all your building materials including plumbing, electrical, lumber, cement, steel and much more. We manufacture roofing sheets available in 11 colors, aluminum windows, doors, insect screens and hurricane shutters. Installation services are available for all our manufactured products. Our opening hours are Monday to Friday 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., Saturdays 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. M&M Hardware Limited. Come on in and experience our affordable prices or call us 444-6757 or 440-6757 Dusty Highway. Email us at info@mahonhardware.com or mnmdusty@mahonhardware.com. M&M Hardware, foundation to roof. Let's build together.
Introducing the Grenlec mobile app. You can now get your bill balance and easily track energy usage for your home or business. Report and receive alerts about power outages. Plus, stay up to date by receiving the latest notifications. Yes, the Grenlec app keeps you connected anytime, anywhere.
The Housing Authority offers products that people can choose from, products that people can access, and I think anyone looking to build, just call the Housing Authority of Grenada. The service was superb. Every step of the way, they collaborated with the owner, they collaborated with the builder. The builder himself was really good. For what I've seen them do, I have to say that from buildings they have done in the past to where they are now, they have come up to speed with modern trends, modern designs, and I think I will advise anybody.
Where you walk, what you say, when you talk, where you go, where you walk, what you say, when you talk.
It's a hungry world out there, with everybody scrambling to get a share.
It's real. It's 91.9. It's about time for me to shut it down for this segment of the morning program. But not before. Vilma Hamilton, how are you doing this morning? I trust that you're doing pretty okay. Now, Vilma sent me a message on social media, Facebook to be exact, and because I raised the issue this morning in relation to the youngsters within the NDC getting involved in the politics and not having any experience. Yes, I did raise that. And Vilma, you quite rightly, or Velma, no, Velma it is, Velma Hamilton. You quite rightly pointed out, and you said, in response to the issue on the NDC prospective candidates and political experience, I don't recall Kate, Pamela, and a few others having any political experience. And of course, my reply, Velma, and I hope you do get an opportunity to read my reply, because I replied simply, Velma, I take a moment to respond. Yes, they do not, and no one starts any vocation with experience. No one starts any job with experience. However, a baby has a mother and a father. Hence, they're able to learn. I hope that addresses your concern. Right, Val? I hope that addresses your concern. Yes. Kendra, Kate, Delma, Emmeline, Anthony Boson, Keith Mitchell, they all did not start with experience. But guess what? There's somebody that they could have learned from. And learn they did. And you're saying, I did not want you to broadcast this? Well, of course I have to. Once you put it there, it's broadcast already. I'm just reading it out. It's broadcast. If you don't want me to say something, don't put it there, Velma. Once you do so and you put it there, then it becomes fair game for me to share it with my listeners who do not have the opportunity to view. Because I can just go and just say anything like that. No, Velma, you should know better than that. If you don't want me to say something, don't put it there. Because I will say. Good morning, goodbye, God bless, take care, one love, I'm gone. Catch you again tomorrow morning, God's will. Peace and love, news, that's next.
Triple N. Informative, entertaining, and first.